I see you, Nick. I see you.
You should know. I wanna make sure I'm right.
Hey, gotta get it right. Gotta get our minds right. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's what we are here to do. For those of you that are tuning in right now, you're listening to Shop Talk with Mel. I got my co-host in the building. We got Roogle, the movie guy. Hello?
Hey, yeah. I just read something funny, that's all. I be doing research all the time.
I was slow. That was the problem. I was slow. Look, slow to the draw. Then we have Nick the Voice.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I missed y'all last week.
Yeah, you were thoroughly missed. We're going to talk about all the lovely mishaps. It's really not mishaps, but things that actually go on when we're out. But let me tell you, before we started the show today, like I remember I had 2 gray hairs. So, you know, I'm sitting there, I got my little superwoman ponytail. Y'all know I feel like I'm a superhero when I put this in, okay? All this was gray. I was like, hold up. Where my mascara? Listen, before I used to do just like, whoop, that mascara, that is the trick that'll work. You gotta look at your little bag. Whoop, whoop.
Okay, thank you. Let me start doing that then.
Yes, honey, it will hide them because see, they peek out from everywhere and then they want to stick up too. Like, get out of here. What is
this one right here is curling?
See, don't.
And I used to pluck them all the time, but I stopped plucking them.
Yes.
And now they start come through here and there.
Use some mascara. So that's my tip. Now we was talking about before the show. If you're just joining in, yeah. But before the show, we was talking about hotels and motels. You know, the benefits of working there, working for the company, getting discounts, and it seems good, you know, with the whole travel thing. But are people still traveling? That's my question.
No, they're still using them for booty calls most of the time.
Oh, look at Roogle. Okay, that's what you doing. Okay, hump guy, your hump guy, hump girl. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about you know how some of the hotels, they offer like a complimentary breakfast and all that good stuff. What's happening with that during this time?
Most of them are giving like bag breakfast that may have like a granola bar, a muffin, a piece of fruit, and they'll hand you, some of them might hand you orange juice. Some of them might have a bottle of water.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, people like me, I'm like, am I going to get a discount? Like, what's happening here? Because this is included.
Mm-hmm. I tried that back in November. No discount. But some of them actually, they have, because you know, a lot of the hotels, they sell food anyway, like the little microwavable stuff. So some of the hotels, like $20, they have like the breakfast sandwich where you can nuke in the microwave, and you know, they just don't have the full breakfast with the sausage, bacon, the eggs, and stuff like that, like they used to. They had to lay their breakfast attendants off because of what's going on, because of the COVID. So,
so a lot of people are just losing their job. Roogle, finish your story. You got to catch the people up, but finish the story you was telling us about when you had the discount.
I won't say the hotel name.
Okay.
But me and my son went on a trip to DC, one of my favorite places to go vacation, right? I love going out. So I take him down there. He's about 19 at the time. And we rolling out. I'm like, okay, we got everything set. We're gonna roll up into this hotel, whatever, when we get there. Got there, and I was like, oh, this is different. You know what I mean? I was like, I didn't expect it to be like this, but I was like, from the outside looking in, I was like, oh, it's a pool here. Is this because the accommodations now, this is a free room that I got because of somebody who worked at the corporation was like, I can give you these passes.
Oh,
so I'm like, cool.
Family discount.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we get there and we get in the room, and and I just start to see like the like the walls was moving a little bit. I'm like, oh, okay. Is that a hole for a picture? What was that hole for that picture? Keep moving around. And so we go in. I'm in there, and I'm like, oh, I say, hey, stay outside. Try to keep your suitcase in the air. So I go down to the room, and I'm like, hey man, there's like a bug issue or something going on in this thing. And the dude is like, are they in the bed? And I said, I didn't even get to the bed yet, homie. Hey, what is you talking? You know what I mean? So we end up, it was a person that was living, like, I think living there. And he was talking to me. He's like, hey, y'all can stay at my place if y'all want to, right? With me and my wife. And I'm like,
his place was in the hotel too?
This was in the hotel. This was all in the hotel.
Okay, I'm following.
And so I was just like, hell, they got to be coming from somewhere. I don't know where they're coming from. They everywhere, right? So when I told the dude, he was like, did you get to the bed? I'm like, no, I didn't check the bed. I'm checking it. I mean, as soon as I got in, I see stuff. So I was like, where else can I go? Is there another one? Drive to this other one, right? And this is getting closer, like towards the Capitol. You can see the Capitol like from it. And I was like, I go in, park the car, and it's like 2:30 in the morning, maybe 3. And a door is open, and you can see somebody, like, because this is like a motel, this setup one is like,
okay.
So you see like the door open, and it looked like somebody doing hair or something. And I look, and there's a baby on the steps.
At 2 in the morning?
It's a baby. Listen, it's a baby on the steps. I swear to you, right? Like drooping diaper and everything, just chilling outside. And the security guard was looking so shady. He was looking like, yeah, I don't snitch. You know what I mean? So it's 2-3 o'clock in the morning. 2-3 o'clock in the morning. And I go into the lobby, and I'm like, well, they transfer me. I want to transfer here. But when I go in the lobby, it's all these like flying ants, kind of termite things or whatever. Like this is a completely different place, right? Completely different place. And I'm like, he was like, look, the dude was like, you don't want to. He's like, you don't want to stay.
Oh, the security dude told you that?
No, the person behind the desk. Yeah, they was like, you don't want to stay here, right? So I was like, well, where's a place I could go or whatever? And so he gave me this book. And so in the book, it had like a whole bunch of like all the ones around, right? Because I guess the ones I was going to, they accepted the passes, but they were franchises.
Okay.
They weren't corporate owned. Okay. So I ended up going to what is it? Is it Laurel, Maryland?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You familiar with it? So I went out there, and I called the guy, and I was like, hey, I got my kid with me. This is what I saw, blah, blah, blah. What's up with y'all rules? Are they, he's like, we don't got none of those problems. You know what I mean?
Like, let me know what's going on before I take this.
Let me know. Because the thing is, I'm trying to be cheap, using the passes and everything like that, thinking like, I'm gonna have to buy this room. You know what I mean? I have to buy a room somewhere else. And the only places I knew, they were like, that I knew off the top of my head that were around, they're like $200, $300 rooms a night, And I was like, well, I'm just got to just do it if I can't find it, whatever. And it turned out all right. But the funny part about it that I skipped, it made me think about it, was when I left the first hotel room and we had our bags. I drove down the street, and it was a 24-hour CVS, I think, was open. And I went and bought some roach spray.
I know that's right.
And I started spraying. I sprayed bags and everything, you know what I mean? And then when I went to the hotel, that was the first time I really did like a thorough check of a room. Like I flipped the beds open, took the sheets off, looked at everything and stuff like that. Cause I was like, worst case scenario, I bring home these critters to the crib, or something crawl in my kid's ear, and then I got to hear from her baby mama about that. You know what I mean? You know, the whatever the things are that happens, but you know,
And now
worthwhile.
you gotta check for bed bugs. Bye bed, but listen,
Yeah.
Wait, finish. I need to hear his story. Go ahead.
But the thing was, was that once we got the Laurel, everything kind of fell into place. The only issue was we had to drive about 45 minutes every day to get into DC, but it turned out to be it turned out to be a memorable and good trip. You know,
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh no, are you finished?
I was gonna say, but that first 6 hours in the middle of the night was because by the time we got into the hotel, it was like 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Oh, I was gonna say, well, it should have been time to check out.
Well, I was in DC. I probably got there around 2 o'clock in the morning, you know.
Okay, go ahead, Nick.
No, I was just saying nowadays you got to take bed bug spray with you to the hotels, because for a minute there are a lot of hotels, even the good ones, were having outbreaks.
Yeah.
And so like now certain hotels, they have a system where they, you know, I think is it the Marriott's? They have a system where they have a machine, like they're supposed to, in between each guest, go and they clean, even with the little vacuum, and clean the you know, but
Clean
for
the
a
what?
while there,
Clean
couple,
the Clean the what?
the mattresses.
Shouldn't they be doing that between each guest
Anyway,
anyway?
they should be doing that anyway, but some of these hotels, or I ain't gonna say some of these hotel chains, some of these people that they got in housekeeping down, you be lucky if if the sheets don't look soiled, they gonna make the bed up.
Yeah.
And
So
that's it.
what I always do is always ask for fresh linen,
Right.
you know, and I just change it myself. You ain't got to do
Yep.
nothing, no matter where I'm at, you know.
Yep.
Oh, okay, thank you. And that's what I do.
Okay, because I know now with COVID, they don't. They like if you're staying more than one day, they give
They
you
don't come and clean.
right. They give you what you need.
Yeah.
Call it a day.
And that was the thing when we went down to DC, we were staying for I think 5 or 6 days. So you know.
Okay, so yeah, okay. Well, I guess free is not always good. I really believe that if they have a bug problem, they need to post that. Like, you know, in the fine print. You know how they have you the fine print, you got to click on that. Did you agree to it? Having that so you know where you're going.
I will tell you now, a lot of these hotels have also started doing well, you know, you got to pay extra for the early check-in, but they're also holding $100 deposits. A lot of these hotels have started doing that lately, because when they say no smoking,
Bring your bed bugs. Like, I don't understand.
well, no, because more so their smoking policy. Because you know, some hotels have where you can select a smoking room or a non-smoking room, but most of these hotels are non-smoking. And I was told, because I was told by, you know, the one down the street there, the reason why the hotel started doing this is because a lot of people will sign that, you know, their agreement and everything, and then they end up smoking it. And when they're asked about it, oh, I wasn't smoking, or I didn't smoke. You could clearly smell it, or you know, or I had a few people in there and they smoke. You know, my husband, he's a smoker. He goes outside when he's ready to smoke. He be like, "I'll be back," and he'll go outside and smoke. But some people just don't care. And then I've been with folks where they didn't in the room getting high, and I'd be sitting there looking at them like, you do realize, and then they bring in spray and incense like that's gonna help.
Incense definitely ain't gonna help.
Right.
Exactly.
This is more smoke.
But sometimes
exactly.
say if your neighbor decides to smoke and you're not the one that's smoking and it comes through the walls, that has happened to me, and I can't stand cigarette smoke. And I'm like, okay, they smoking next door. What if they put it on you?
I guess that's when you call downstairs and be like, my neighbor's smoking and it's coming through my room, you know. But these hotels that, you know, they are going to charge you regardless $100 deposit. And once you leave, and within a day or so, once you check out and they check the room, if the room is not damaged or no, you know, they don't no smoke or anything like that, then, but just to cover yourself, if you smell smoke and you know you don't smoke, call the front office. I mean, sometimes, you know, people like to say no snitch policy, but sometimes it pays to snitch. You just got to call and be like, listen, somebody in the room next door to me is smoking. It's not me, you know, so you can get your money back. because that's
I've
$100.
never been to a place where they held a $100.
They're starting to do that. Down the street they do it. When I stayed at the courtyard,
I mean, I'm not saying that they don't.
yeah, they
I,
just
I'm
they just
here to
recently
experience that.
started
That's
doing it.
interesting. I want to move on though. The My Pillow guy, Mike Lindell, remember him? He didn't get banned off of Twitter too with Trump.
And he don't care.
He don't.
He is pushing. No, he's
He
looking into that.
he was banned from Twitter for Trump. So I guess he was kind of, and I'm just paraphrasing. From what I got from it was he was pretty much sending a message out that Trump had, like, okay, I'm not allowed on, so go ahead and do A, B, C, and D.
He hasn't stepped down, but he stepped away. He's letting his son run the company because he is full on running a campaign. Because I was listening to the interview that one of the interviewers had with him for Bloomberg or whatever. He's basically still going forward with that message about the voter fraud.
Okay.
The Dominion, whatever Dominion, something, the ones that do the machines, they were talking about suing him, and he told him to go ahead. He claimed he has all this information, and he's dedicated himself to going to different countries trying to get rid of using machines as a way to count votes. We went back, but see, that's the thing. Machines, well, I can't say machines are more accurate because sometimes machines make mistakes too. So either way, it's going to have a mistake. But my thing is,
but those the states that he was having issues with, they actually hand counted. So it's the same thing. It's like going
right, exactly.
When you have people who put their children in place instead of them being in place, that
right,
make a difference.
Right. A lot of stores have pulled his product, like Kohl's, Target, and a lot of other stores have pulled his product. And guess what? That didn't do nothing. At first, they thought he said he didn't care because his income and the sales have tripled since all of this happened.
All right, we got to move on. Go ahead, Roogle. What did you want to say? What did you want to add to that?
I was just going to say probably put the company. Now, all the time when he was supposed to have when he was supposed to divest his interest in the business, he didn't want to do that, right? He didn't fully go through and do that. Now he's trying to do it now, but I think that's just a way of trying to save like the company from the huge debt it's about to receive from Deutsche Bank and all those other larger investors who are like, okay, it's time for you to pay what you owe, and he owed him like 350.
Okay.
Million.
Now multiple threats against members of Congress is being investigated before the Trump impeachment. Did you hear anything about that? The impeachment trial? They're going in, digging in, and pretty much seeing who's on what side and where they stood.
Right.
Do you think that some Republicans won't vote against him because they fear for their life?
No, because
or their money.
Cheney, she didn't already voted for the impeachment.
Okay, but that was only what, 12 people though? That's only 12.
Right.
Wait, 1 second. Go ahead, Roogle.
But I think though that 12 was significant. I mean, it was in the House, but it was more than what they voted for the first time around. You know what I mean? I think now people are just saying enough is enough. But I think the other thing is that people know their constituents. You know what I mean? So I don't, I just think it's time for people to do what's right by the country, and this is to impeach him is the right thing to do, right now, especially if he's still talking to propaganda and everything like that. I think it's an issue, but I think he's looking at it as a stream of revenue. It's going to be people that's willing to go hear him say this crap, and then somebody going to be willing to pay for it to hear it, so it just, yeah, it needs to be done. I was talking to a few people about it, and the one thing that made me feel like he caused this to happen was he told the people, I'll meet you over there, and he didn't show up, at the Capitol, but hey, let's go over there, let's do this, I'll meet y'all over there, and that was his last words, and they went over there, right?
He did not go.
Yeah, but other people who hold official offices can be impeached as well through that process. And like people like Ted Cruz and the guy, what's his name, Hankley or something like that. If they're, they had him, he was the one with the skinny dude pumping his fist like that or whatever, and there's still a whole lot of people that are still keeping that lie going. And yeah, they should be held accountable. And if it's found to have evidence to that's worthy of impeaching them, they definitely should do it.
Okay, go ahead, Nick, your thoughts?
Yeah, my thing is, let's turn it around. If it was Obama that had done that, and the Democratic Party, oh honey, they would have in a minute he would have been impeached. Even with the first incident, he would have been impeached. So, and they would be ready to throw him in jail, saying he incited a riot and insurrection. And so the Democratic Party, they would be charging all them folks, throwing them all in jail and everything. So it's like, you got to be fair across the board, period, point blank. I don't care how you look at it, what it is. You have to be fair across the board, period, point blank. This.
Let me ask my question again. Let me ask my question again. Do you think that some Republicans who want him out did not vote for him out due to fear? And not just fear of their families, fear of where their money, fear of where they lie, fear of if they decide to run for office.
Oh, of course.
Go ahead, Roogle.
I was just gonna say, like, okay, you got like, I would be surprised if Mitt Romney didn't vote to impeach him, because he did it the last time. And he has his own money and his own legacy and all that other stuff. But I think that's the issue becomes a bigger one in America, that we have people who can become lifetime politicians in the same office forever and ever. And so it becomes, it's the thing where they are going to do, like, they don't care. Like sometimes, well, I shouldn't say they don't care, but what I will say is sometimes it's about riding the popular wave. And that's what we've seen with the Republicans with this. And the popular wave has been to empower one person, instead of, like, everybody get on AOC's case, because she wants a Green New Deal. They call her this crazy radical leftist leftist Democrat, wants us to, like, have a clean environment. Why would you want to have a clean environment? You know what I mean? Like, it's weird, that kind of stuff. And when you look at what they say that they're supporting, obviously, they try to say we're the, we're the religious ones and everything like that. And it's like, well, like I was telling somebody, and I don't even know if it's on his show or not, but I said, if I made a reference to what Trump was doing and I found a Bible reference, he would be Pharaoh. The 7 plagues would be upon him. You know what I mean? Because all the things he's done in for himself or for people that supported him. Think about it. We have a plague right now, right? You know what I mean? If I was to say who he was, he's Pharaoh. He's not the good guy in this. He's not Moses. And they need to realize that.
All right, let's go ahead and jump right on to what's popping right now. Marjorie Greene, what's your thoughts on her? And what it was is that there was like an extremist, I don't know which group the guy belonged to, but she clicked that she liked his comment on Twitter, which was pretty much wishing the death or going to kill Pelosi. And she liked that Twitter, and that's where all of this stuff, she liked that tweet, and that's where all this stuff stems from. What's your thoughts on that and her?
I'm surprised that like she even like this. She's a really ridiculous person with her politics. She's a woman from Georgia who was elected to the Congress or whatever Congress, and she's been a QAnon conspiracy theorist and all that kind of stuff. Really linked into that real hard, really pushing on that. And it's like the thing with all these conspiracies to me that's so ridiculous is proof. I mean, like no one's showing any proof for any of this stuff, even if it's the voting thing. If it's the voting thing and you can run down the list. If you register to vote, it is free public information.
Right.
Everybody can know it, right? You can go right down that list. You can go right to the vital statistics office and see if people are dead and when they die, you know.
Right. Okay, but I want to touch on this because Congress now is looking at, they want to bring weapons in. But of course, security's like, no way. Now, if Congress wants to bring weapons in, if they're allowed to, because we already know they got the bulletproof vest and all that other stuff, but if they're allowed to, and this member of Congress likes a tweet that said they should go in there and kill Pelosi, tell me how easy it would be for her to do that.
Well, and that's why they're not letting them come in with weapons. They may want to, but they're not letting them.
But do we want somebody like that in Congress? I mean,
no. I mean,
whatever it's called. You know what I mean?
but those people in that community need to recall that election if they feel the same way. You know what I mean? But obviously they voted her in there knowing what she stood for.
You think they really knew?
Yeah. With her, definitely.
Okay, because there are other people that's having issues with her, and she doesn't care because she keeps tweeting and saying what she's saying
because she got the position.
And here's the thing, more than the position, she said she actually said, she was like, now that I have the followers, she said she has more followers than she ever had.
Yeah.
So she actually stands on this.
Yeah.
Come on.
But I'm telling you, from the get-go with her, she was always like she was the same rhetoric she's saying now is what she was saying in the beginning.
And she got
it could have ramped up, but it was always out there, you know.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I wouldn't feel safe. I would not feel safe, just like they were saying some of the security buttons were removed. Who's to say that she wasn't the person that actually, you know what I mean, had people removing them? Some feel as though that it was a plan. They was like, oh, that was planned. I feel as though it was planned. How do you know where everybody's office is at? How do you know that?
Well, I don't know if that's that's
you don't know where you going. I'm not gonna come into your house and I just happen to know where the bathroom is at.
But the thing is like if you go on those tours and stuff like that, you kind of see stuff like that.
How many?
You ain't got to. You can go on one. You can go on one.
And you have a limited time though. You have a limited.
But it's just like, because I'm trying to think. Like when I went to the Capitol, we went inside, but we were only we only were in the dome in the main part of it, right?
Okay.
Like when you walk in, like you see stuff, you know. But not the dome part, but we are in the main, you know, when you go in, right? But like if you think about like the State House in Columbus, once you get in, you walk through there, you walk all up and through there. You know, I mean, theirs is probably a little tighter, but
here's my thoughts though. You have a limited time. They came in and they rushed. How did you just luck up? I mean, you sitting at Pelosi's desk, you got people still opposing you, they're going straight to Congress, they still in laptops. I mean, come on, if you're doing a heist, you gotta have it already mapped out. Like I said, even if I went over to your house one time to go to the bathroom and I use your restroom, the second time, I'm not just, okay, I got 1 minute. I'm just gonna run. I know it's straight up the stairs. I don't know whose room is over there and whose room is over there, or if that's the living room or the back den. I don't know any of that information until I get in there. I just believe that it was premeditated, already planned. Y'all had a meeting. Somebody gave a layout. Something had to be.
I'm not saying that there weren't people conspiring to do stuff, because obviously you have people in full military gear with zip ties and everything else. So I mean, you know, was an element of that. You know, even there was officers that they felt that were somewhat lenient. They haven't actually said that they were conspiring with them, but they have an idea. They have ideas and thoughts. But I just don't. I don't think. Okay, I'll give you an example. It's this one officer, Black gentleman, who was there, and it was a group. He dropped his baton or whatever, and then he picked it up, and then he kind of like guided the group away from this other entrance to get to the Capitol. And they they get into the room where the Congress and everybody were. And so they're calling this dude like a hero because of what he did. These people came in there and they clearly didn't know where to go.
Because it was all of them. No, they didn't.
But what I'm saying is that I understand there was some conspiracies and things like that, but I also feel that too, there were some people that if they got in there, some of them may not have even known who people were. Like I think if you were brown skin or black or brown, you was probably done. But as far as like I don't think some of them knew Republicans from Democrats unless they only knew their own. Some of them had no idea what they're doing. Now I'm not saying they still should all be charged with insurrection. They should all be charged with treason. In my opinion, if you got into that building, you should be charged. Okay, in my opinion, you should be charged with treason and murder.
What about that one black guy that was in Congress standing there looking around like, wait a minute.
Hey, bro.
That meme talk about something. Ain't no stimulus checks in here. Remember that guy?
That was funny.
I didn't see that, but guess what? What are you doing up in there?
I don't think he knew. Just like you
said. But the thing is, hey, he up in there. People died. Stuff happened. Treason, murder.
There's a couple of them that was there, and one of them is in jail. And he was denied bail, unlike his white counterparts. A lot of them are out on bail. Homie isn't. That's what you get.
All right, well, Proud Boys is charged with conspiracy in the Capitol riot. One had a bomb-making manual on a thumb drive. That's what the feds say. So the feds is involved, and that's why they probably don't want the feds involved at all. And I'm going to tell you, and it's really sad. One Pezzola, he's charged with assaulting, resisting arrest, impeding, all that other stuff. But he was he actually was a veteran, a U.S. veteran. I want to make sure I give you guys facts from Rochester, New York. And then the other one was William Pepe or something like that. And he worked with the Metropolitan Transportation from Beacon, New York. So those two Proud Boys, that's what they call them, they were actually charged with a lot of different charges that they said was hit. I just think that, what did they say? I think the number was like 153 people were arrested. That doesn't make me feel good when it was almost 32,000.
Right. You have a lot of people turning their family members in as well.
You see that young boy that turned his father in?
Mm-hmm. They trying to say he was coaxed into it and promised his college tuition is paid for and said he only did it for that. Listen, regardless of what you think the motive is, the father was there. He ain't doing what he ain't had no business doing. The son saw it, turned him in. There was one man who threatened his child, and I don't know if that's the same person or not, threatened his child that he better not turn him in. The child turned him in. So I think that might be the same little boy. I'm not sure, but there's wives that turn husbands in, husbands that turned wives in, children. So it's like, relatives are turning their relatives in because they were like appalled that they saw their family member there as a part of that. That's just ridiculous. Okay, it's ridiculous.
Go ahead, Roogle. What did you want?
I sent a video to. I think I sent it to you of a young girl. I don't know. She might have been a teenager or something like that. But she saw her mother was the one who got punched in the face by the police officer, and like that girl got the coldest. The coldest jab.
Yes,
and she was like, bam, and her face exploded.
Wait a minute though. Wait. When when I looked at that, no lie, how you gonna swing and hit? But she got the right person. You swing, hit her in the face. She turned around, bam, got it to her, and then was like, I don't know, that girl hit me. You didn't say what you did. Now after. Did you see the after effects, Nick? I think I sent that to you. The after effects, where all of her people, not the police officer, all of the white people,
the ones
that was against her, talking about, so why did she hit her? Yeah,
Yeah, then
almost like Color Purple Sophia. Remember when she hit Miss
Yeah,
Billy?
yeah,
It was
when
and
it
they try to
was
blame
like
it on
that, and
somebody
they
else.
were all going on her, pushing her, to asking her all in her face.
but even
I
before
just love
that,
that scene
even
in my
before
head.
that, she said like this. She was like, yeah, I fear for my safety because they were calling me in B words, and they were trying to rip off her mask and things like that. And the crazy part about it was, okay, I'm not for police brutality, but this is a completely different situation. She could have pulled out her firearm and got and you know, and it, you know, because I mean that's what they say. I fear for my life, right? She feared for her life, and she happened to punch one of them off of her, right? You know, and
Right.
it was a guy trying to hit her after that whole thing happened. But
I
the
guess
thing,
I think that was the brother or the husband of the one that got hit or something like that. He was with her, and the first thing afterwards they asked was, "Who hit you? Who hit you? Was it BLM?" They wanted to blame everything on Black Lives Matter because a black person knocked your tail out.
no, she was a police officer. I know
Exactly. A
she's
But she
police
facing
officer.
some kind of
responded.
charges or whatever though.
But she responded. So tell me what would have
And
happened.
she
She
got fired for her
law.
job.
No,
Did
but
she get fired?
Yeah, she got fired. So
I
they
know
have a
that.
GoFundMe for her attorney's fees.
Yeah.
Because I was going to contribute to that because that was clearly self-defense. I'm not gonna sit there, but I have a friend who lives in DC and works. She was working at the Capitol in the cafeteria or something like that, and she said there's anybody, the Capitol Police or security guards or anything like that, they are not allowed, even in self-defense, to do anything like that. They will get fired, even in
Well,
self-defense. It's
that's
yeah.
better
I
for
mean,
them to let that
she
person
needs
attack
to get
them
paid and
so
get
they
hired
can
from
charge
somebody good. Because guess what? Her reflexes was like that.
them.
yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, and the thing is, we're talking about people who tried to take over the country.
Right. But they
You know what I
still,
mean?
she said
But
still.
it's just, you know, like again, I mean, if that's the rules for police brutality, and they found her to be guilty of that, then you know, so be it. But I also would say that the situation was one to where the escalation of force didn't leave somebody dead in that
Thank you.
particular situation. You know what I mean? And I'm always amazed that it was only, you know, I mean, that the death toll from that event was as low as it was.
I tell you what, if she get charged, then that's when we really need to get out here and protest and everything else against police brutality. Because if she gets charged, then all the rest of these white cops that jump on black people for less than that, not even self-defense, then we really do need to get out here and march
One
because that's not fair. Period.
one correction I'll make to your comment though is that it ain't all it. A majority of these police officers have been white, but there's been a few black and white and other races that have done the same thing. You know what I
Right.
mean? Or have watched terrible things happen
And they
and
all
didn't.
need to be
You
charged.
know what I'm saying? So I mean, let's not. You know, I think that I don't. I want to be clear that it's not. You know, the issue is people who don't do the right thing when their jobs focus on them having to do the right thing, you know,
Right.
and they can be, and as we've seen through all this, it's been the color of the rainbow of people who've done the wrong thing, you know,
Right.
but they feel like they have the authority to not act or to act excessively because of that badge.
Right. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to keep a close eye on that story because if she is charged, then yeah, there's a couple of people that I know who do, like protesting and things like. Oh, we need to protest if she gets charged, and a lot of these other ones that have not been charged. That's just ridiculous. It's not fair, and something needs to be done. Period. It's not right. It's not right. Period. Don't make her the example. Okay, well, you people, you were charged, you've been protesting about police brutality. Okay, we arrested one. Well, you just happened to arrest a black person who was acting in self-defense versus the other officers, no matter what race, who do it just because they have authority, because they have authority to do so, or think they have authority to do so.
And
That's not right.
the other thing too, we got to look at is also private citizens who've done these things and haven't been held accountable either.
Right.
So, you know, they don't, you know, for some reason, they don't even have the authority, but the law in those particular communities empowers them to do such a thing and
Well, they
face no
didn't empower
consequences.
the fools that did that to Ahmaud Arbery. They charging them full speed ahead and good.
Yeah.
Good. They're even trying to keep from having the video that the one guy that Brian I can't think of his last name, the one guy, the other guy that's charged that was filming, trying to keep the video out of the evidence. You shouldn't have filmed it then.
Okay, now let's move on to the next hot topic, which, look, I'm like crying over spilled milk, even though, you know, it's like, okay, clean it up. We know what to do. Let's talk about being in the DMs. DMs have a new meaning now. Now it means double mask, according to the CDC. Did you guys read about that? The double mask. Make sure you wear mask. Let me do it. You have two masks, two breathable masks that you have to wear now. Now they have the new strain coming out, and they're also introducing a booster to the Moderna vaccine. Now here's what's crazy to me. A booster already, everybody didn't even get the shot yet. And then they also have, Pfizer, is it Pfizer? Moderna, Pfizer, the 2 series.
Yeah.
And then you have Johnson & Johnson, who has 1. Now, Moderna and Pfizer are supposed to be 95% effective. Johnson & Johnson with just the 1 shot, 1 injection, is supposed to be 66% effective. So go ahead.
This is what I heard about the Johnson & Johnson shot, though, is that it was tested in South Africa where this variant of corona is at. And what they said was, compared to the placebo group, there were no deaths, and the
symptoms are less.
Yeah, so it like lessens the effect of the disease, and it led to no hospitalizations. So that was like one of the things they were happy about.
But here's the thing. They said that the single dose for the COVID vaccine 19.
That's the Pfizer one.
Yeah.
Pfizer is single.
No. This is for the Johnson & Johnson. Will be a game changer because of the 1 injection, the single dose. But 66%. See, you are guaranteeing me a 66% chance that I won't get the virus. Yeah, okay. Regarding the side effects, the symptoms that you may have from it, and yes, death is one of them. Death is a lot of them, to be honest with you, on with medication, period. But I don't care about the symptoms, honestly. 66%, I better not have no symptoms.
I think that I'm
not trying nothing for 66. Well, y'all know I ain't trying nothing for with 95%, because you got to be 99.9% to be the father. So if you're not 99.9%, I ain't trying nothing.
I think though the issue is how are we, the important thing about that was, if people got the disease, they wouldn't be, if they got the virus, they wouldn't be debilitated to the point where it put a drag on the whole medical system. Like Venezuela, for example, they're going to go ahead and use the Russian vaccination, and other countries like, yeah, we wouldn't do that. but it's so bad over there that they have to do something, and that's the only place where they can get the shots that they needed. And they made that deal. But I think the thing is if we look at it from the perspective of, we know some people aren't going to get vaccinated at all. We know that. We know
there's those who are.
They're saying that even if you, from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong about this, But even if you're vaccinated, you can still be a carrier?
No, that's not.
That's not right?
Even if you're vaccinated, you could still get it because you have that 5% with the 95, the 95% effectiveness. With the 66%, you have the difference. What is that? 60 or 40, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 4. What is that? 34% chance of getting the virus. That's why we want to make it clear.
Okay.
When we're talking about the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, it's talking about the side effects regarding the symptoms. People do, you know what? And I did see this, and I'm going to address this right now. Someone they got the vaccine and their temp was 102.1. I saw in the comments that somebody said, oh, a friend of mine had those same symptoms, but you'll be fine. No, low grade fever for any vaccine, expect that. 102.1 is not considered low grade. That's considered fever. Please seek treatment. Seek treatment. Even with the flu vaccine. And it sounds like this is going to be the same as like the flu vaccine. Every year you're going to have to get it. Which strain are we dealing with now? And to come and tell me, oh, okay, well, there's another strain out there. Okay, well, I'm getting this vaccine. I'm good to go. Now it's another strain. Do I need to get that vaccine as well? And people that get the flu vaccine, when they actually say, oh, okay, I got the flu vaccine and I still got the flu. That's because it was a different strain. That vaccine was for this particular strain, strain A. I'm just giving you an example, not strain B. And here comes strain B. This is why you got the flu, because the vaccine that was made or prepared for the one that they thought was going to be coming around, it wasn't. So that's why when people say, oh, I got the flu, I'm not getting the flu vaccine. I got the flu vaccine and I still got the flu. Different strain. Same as here, such as here with the coronavirus. Has the coronavirus been out before? We talked about that. Yes, you had your SARS-1. Now we're on the SARS-2. So it came. I was talking to my mom last night, and she did a verse, some scripture verse. I'd be jacking it up. Where, what is it? Something that has been, will be, or something like that. I'm gonna have to get her to get it right. You know what I'm talking about, Roogle? Will be,
no.
Shall come. Something, what has been, is, and shall be, or something like that. Come on, Bible bangers. We're Noel, that Vegas, get on here and tell me exactly what that scripture is. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
But, I think I know what you're saying now. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I don't know it off.
Okay, offhand. And here's the thing, if you don't know your history, you're bound to repeat it. And to me, this is what we're doing. Now, the double masking, how do you feel about that? The DMs. Instead of in my DM, on my DM with the double mask. And here's the thing too, they actually implemented where you had to wear a mask on all public transportation. To my understanding, I thought that's what we were doing.
That's what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, they were saying that there were flights and stuff where people, once they got off the ground, they would take off their mask. And it's like, what do you do with the person once you're in the air?
They had those people on there, like the
U.S. Marshals. They should be on there. I don't know.
They need to arrest them because that's crazy. And an airplane that cabinet is like.
Flights it out to the only time you allowed to take your mask off is when you eat your snack that they give you and you drink your water or soda. That's it. That's all. Other than that mask better be on your face, and they will keep coming and asking you, and then they'll even come on the loudspeaker until you put it on.
Oh, well, okay.
But they have to make an emergency landing at the next city to put you off, they can't do that.
I think they should, because you're putting everybody at risk. Because remember that one guy, he was sick and they had to land the flight and he was COVID positive. What was it when we followed up? Like a lot of people on the airplane end up being that way.
Yeah.
Like I went to this restaurant. I was up in Cleveland yesterday. I got some carry out at this restaurant, right? And one of the ladies who was helping, and she was on the cash, she was on the register. So the lady's another lady's putting my stuff into a bag to give to her. And she sneezes, right? But she sneezes before my bag gets to her area. And she sneezed, she got her back is to me. I believe her mask is down, but her hand was still up here, right? When she sneezed. And she goes to touch my back. I was like, no, not you. Right. And so she was like, well, I was like, you just sneezed. You didn't sneeze in your hand. I just said, let you do it. Why would you, and then she was like, well, I was like, and then she just got quiet and she went and washed her hands. But it was like, why I gotta tell you this? But the thing that pissed me off though about it was I told the people, y'all need to put my stuff in another bag. I was like, I know she didn't sneeze on it, but she touched the bag. Give me another bag. And the girl was acting like I was doing the most. I want to be like, y'all realize people dying out here, right? Right. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was crazy.
But to even sneeze, like I would think you would sneeze in your elbow, to even sneeze in your hand, it's all contaminated.
But the point I'm saying is, you gonna sneeze, even if it wasn't anything going on, you gonna sneeze and you working in a restaurant and you don't go wash your hands right after you do that?
Yeah, that's pretty disgusting.
Working in a restaurant? Oh yeah, I'd have been like, nah, y'all keep.
You know what I'm saying? And this was a well-to-do, popular sandwich place up there. I'll put it like that.
That's very interesting. And see, that's what I'd be wondering too. When you're working the essential workers, when you're working it, you don't know if the person that actually is preparing your food is positive or negative. So you're taking a chance all around.
And I ain't saying she had it, but I'm saying you sneezing, wash your damn hands. You gonna just touch my, like I'm gonna be cool with it. Like I want to take your booger home. I want to take your booger home.
That is so disgusting. But I was at a restaurant one time. This is pre-COVID, and I was in the bathroom and I seen this girl leave the stall, and I was out here. I was carrying that day, and I was like, "Well, where is she at?" And then I see her out on the floor. So she was a waitress, and I asked because we had just gotten there. I said, "Whose table is she waiting?" And they was like, oh no, she has that section over there. So then I wanted to speak to the manager. I wanted to talk to everybody. I said, first, before I got to speaking to the manager, I wanted to speak to her to let her know. But there's like, oh, she's busy. She's doing that. I said, let me speak to a manager. I was in the bathroom with her. I went in there to wash my hands. She came out the stall and walked out the door. I said, now I understand why it is necessary to put all employees wash your hands. I didn't think that was like needed. Me personally, I'm thinking you got to really tell people that. Get out of here.
Just like people don't like to use soap. What's the sense of running your hands under water and then wiping it? You still running it under plain water ain't doing nothing. I was at work, my first day of work last Friday. A girl did that. Come out the stall, was waiting for me to wash my hands. After she came out of the stall, I was drying my hands. I left the water on for her. She run her hands under the water, did like this, grabbed the towel and walked out the door. And I'm still sitting there looking at her like, eh. So of course, when I opened the door, I opened it with a paper towel. That's just nasty. They make soap for a reason. Use it. If there's no soap left, then let somebody know something. But if there's something in there,
I got paused up.
Well, here's my thing. Yeah.
With her stank face.
It is a heritage service, something extra. Well, let's, how about you go over to somebody's house? What if you didn't know that and you've been over their house and they appear to be clean and they're not, and you find out later, and i.e., and this is, I don't have to say alleged because she actually said it live, Adrienne Bailon.
Yep.
Who is that?
She does.
On the real, she used to be in the Cheetah Girls. And what she actually said was
the original member of 3LW.
Wait, Nick, let me finish. What she said was that when she's at home, she does not wash her hands after using the bathroom because she's at home, and felt as though that it was just the justifiable. What's your thoughts on that?
That's
Cleanliness,
nasty.
cleanliness is next to godliness.
Yeah.
Plus the thing is like, even if you at home, you still live with other people. Other people get sick from, unless you live by herself and she a recluse and nobody ever comes over her house, you know. But I mean, doodle on your finger is doodle on your finger.
When people
Uh,
don't know that they have it, that's how that E. coli end up in stuff. And
yeah,
people
but they,
don't even know. So Nick saw that
yeah.
episode. That's why I'm like, let me finish it, Nick. Let me finish it. That's disgusting. And you look at her, all the glitz and glam, you wouldn't have been able to tell me, not that it wasn't even a thought to say, I wonder if she washed her hands after she used the bathroom. Like, that's not what
Oh, you just thought that you just thought she was clean because she's on TV? Because she's on TV?
Yeah, lashes popping, even after, you just look like, oh, okay, well, I'd have found out something different.
You remember when the local Ruby Tuesday closed down after that one employee? They found like her kids was malnourished and stuff in her house. They had dead cats and dog crap everywhere.
No.
You don't remember that? It was the one that was.
Refresh us.
This may have been 2000, somewhere between 2000 and 2003, because I know when I was working at the time, because me and this lady had a big debate about it. So what ends up happening was, I guess, children's services going to her home or whatever. There's no working water. Her kids are in there like really sick and stuff like that. There's dead cats and crap, and like when I say feces in the house, and this is crazy. But she was working at Ruby Tuesday, and when the story they presented it as if she worked at Ruby Tuesday. This is how the news presented it. And so soon after that particular location closed down, and that was the location that was at the mall. If you remember that. So the issue was when they showed the girl or the mom on the news, like she had her nails done and her hair was done or something like that. And it was like, well, she put all this care into herself, but like her house, whatever is like crazy. You know what I mean? And so, the issue came up. It was a debate we were having, was if you get, now I don't think, I wasn't a fan of Ruby Tuesday ever anyway, but I don't even remember going. I think I might have been at location one time or something like that. But the point was that could you get sick from a person who does that? Because if they're not doing this stuff at home, the basic stuff, like picking up cat shit off the floor, right? That would be a basic thing, right?
Right.
Oh, she gonna get the bell.
Yeah, I had to get the bell. Like, here we go. We thought it was gonna be clean all the way through. Go ahead.
But the thing was, and another person, she was a health person, and she said that same thing about what you said about feces being underneath somebody's fingernails, and be undetected. They could probably be thinking, I'm cool. But she also researched a study where they just did a random sampling of people, and it was like about 40% of people had feces under their nails and didn't even realize it was, what I mean? So it's a common thing. So a thorough hand wash is a good thing, but this lady's situation was really bad. I can't believe y'all guys don't remember that. But
I don't remember that. I probably would have lost all of my appetite. But I want to let me be fair. Adrian did follow up by asking, what did she touch? It's her house. She said her, and that's when Tamara said, you touched your behind, girl. And she was like, no, the tissue touched it. She said, it's my home. So I wouldn't be, I mean, I get it, you on the real, but guess what? I don't want nothing you bring in. See, that's why I'm fool with potlucks though. That's why I'm fool with the potlucks. Because see, you don't know who's doing what. But should you have to ask somebody, or when do you ask somebody, do they wash their hands after they use the bathroom?
I mean, you shouldn't have to, but yeah, some folks, and it'd be the ones that you least suspect.
I was appalled, but I'm telling you, when I saw that episode, I was like, wait, what did I hear? Rewind. And she was justifying why she doesn't wash her hands.
Okay, but then you probably you're touching everything in the house. Your husband is touching everything in the house. I'm quite sure they have people over.
I think her husband probably was just as shocked, because I know I would have been. Ain't no finger sucking foreplay going on there, I hope.
Probably has been.
Look at his face.
Probably
This-
has been.
Look
And
at
This
him.
is-
Oh, Roogle, you got your gloves on.
This is what I have at my house. So whenever I cook food, wash my hands, if it's even for myself, when I'm preparing the food, I got my gloves. It's like 500 of them. They come in a pack.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I
So
mean,
when
the
you
500
prepare-
look backwards
when you
right there,
prepare
but
food-
it's 500 of them.
So when you prepare food for others and yourself, you always wear gloves.
Yeah, they
That's
right there.
good to know.
You go and you can buy them. It only costs you like maybe like I don't know $7, $10, between $7 and $10 for like 1,000 of them.
Just
Come on now.
Now, see, I don't like dressing and what is that? Potato salad stuff that you gotta. I don't like all that on my hands anyway, so I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna reuse that glove. I'm gonna put it right into my water bottle. So people come over and get some to eat. They be like, "Is that glove from the show?" I'm like, nah, it ain't the glove from the show.
Now you put it inside a water bottle and then dispose of it.
No, I'm just doing that to show y'all I got rid of it. That's all. I just throw them in the trash. You know what I mean? I just throw them in the trash. But it's the same thing with changing a baby diaper. You know, if you use gloves, it's a technique where you put two gloves on one hand. Take off the one into this one, and then you take out the other one to the other one. Then you take out that one and ball it up, and then you got like a little, doo-doo capsule.
That is how you look. That is how you remove gloves. That's the proper way of actually removing gloves.
See, my potato salad tight, man. It's clean, man. My dress is clean, yo. I know what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Okay. Roogle, what's happening in the movie world?
Man. Well, like we said, everything's on the small screen nowadays just because of everything we've been talking about now. COVID, personal space, social distancing, doubling up on the mask. So funny how we evolved from the double Jimmy hat to the DM, right?
Right.
But that's where we're at in today's society. Okay, so the first things first is when we talk about Wonder Woman. They said Wonder Woman has surpassed Disney Pixar Soul for most viewed hours. Now, this is my explanation to that. I watched Soul and I watched Wonder Woman. I got through Soul in one sitting, and I thought it was an enjoyable watch. Had some plot holes, but I thought it was an enjoyable watch. I watched Wonder Woman 5 times. And I watched it 5 times, not because it was good 5 times, because it took me 5 times to make it through it.
Oh gosh.
Okay. So
tried it again.
Yeah, so their numbers may be a little bit. I mean, the first one I will say I fell asleep, right? So they got that. And then I was like, was it really as bad as I remember it being? And then I watched it again. I was like, oh yeah, it's bona fide terrible. But yeah, I think that's the reason, from my perspective, that's the reason why it has more watchable hours, is because, I don't know if it goes off of the length of the movies, because Wonder Woman is, I think, almost maybe an hour longer than Soul. But if it's just off of pure viewing, I contributed 5 watchings to that. And it was not a desirable watch, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, nor 5. But that's what they're going off of. But I guess it's done well for HBO Max, and that's all that matters. Now, you all are familiar with the Snyder Cut, right? The Snyder Cut was the Justice League movie that came out 2017. And during the production of that movie, Zack Snyder, who was the director and writer, had a family tragedy. He left the production. Joss Whedon came in, pretty much changed the whole movie from what that vision was, and then we got what we got. So there had been an online campaign of people just like me saying, we want that. We want to see that, because this wasn't what it was. And so after campaigning, and then the stars got involved with it, wanting to support the fans, HBO said, Warner Brothers said, we're going to do it. So what they ended up doing was, we're going to bring it to 4 episodes on the HBO Max in March. So now those 4 episodes it's not going to be 4 episodes, as it's going to be one movie. and that's going to drop March 18th on HBO Max. And I don't know if it'll be in theaters or not, but the people that spoken, and so goes the corporations. The other tidbit I have here, if I lost my notes. Denzel Washington has a new movie that released on HBO Max. It's on HBO Max, and it's also on at the theater if you go to see it that way. It's called The Little Things, and it's sort of a murder mystery movie, and he's a detective or somewhat looking into that drama. So far, it's gotten pretty good reviews, and people have liked it. I have not had a chance to watch stuff as often as I would want to watch it, but I did watch the new episode of WandaVision, and it finally started to Marvel. So I like the took the fourth episode to get there, but it finally started to Marvel, and I think it should be a great addition to what we know of those 23 movies. And I'm just interested to see where it goes, because it's just right now it's just a whole bunch of unknowns, but it seems to be picking up pretty good.
Okay. Hey,
that's
Nick,
what I got.
Nick, you plan on she might be frozen. Is she frozen? Okay, she might be frozen. Well, let's talk about the legendary, iconic, and
oh yeah.
Uh-oh, wait a minute. You almost with us, and then you're not. Are you there? Are you there? You go. Okay.
I can hear you.
Yeah, she
okay.
Here.
Now you're there. Look, now you're there. Nick, I wanted to talk about, prior to the iconic, influential actress that died at 96 years old, Wendy Williams movie is supposed to come on today. Are you watching on Lifetime? Are you?
I don't watch Wendy Williams' show.
I know, so you don't want to know about her life?
Nah, why? I don't know. That's like me watching the
Did
Kim
you watch,
Kardashian
okay,
movie.
but those of us like me that look, this is what we do the show on, the hot topics too. Those of like me.
That's the only reason I watch it.
Is to see, well, you know what, she was telling everybody else's business, so now it's her business is being told.
Yeah, but from her perspective?
Yeah.
So I mean, usually biopics are most influential when other people are in charge of telling what the facts are. That's how come, like, just like when you get a Salt and Pepper movie without a Spinderella, right?
I still feel like it's Salt and Pepper. Spinderella, okay, she was in the back. I thought they portrayed her very well. This is what she did in the back. I didn't see a problem. Did they exclude her? No, she was included. Here you go. Just like I told y'all, we was on the show. I couldn't think of the girl's name, Latoya. Spinderella that's not the original Spinderella, but they just kept that name so that the fans wouldn't be confused.
So why not explain that in your documentary? I mean,
that wasn't their documentary.
It wasn't Salt and Pepper's documentary?
No, it wasn't. It was the biopic about their friendship.
Okay, the biopic about their friendship. And I mean, did it talk about them going on tour? Did it have them in the studio?
Hey, that's what they did.
Come on, man.
And in the biopic, they showed where Spinderella, when they first was introduced to her, they showed that. They showed she was from high school. They told all of that. That's why I'm like, what else did she want? They showed when she found out that she was being cheated on, Spin was there, they went out. They showed at the end when they included her, they was awarded. It was Salt and Pepper and Spin. They gave her lines. So they gave her her part. I don't know what else she could have wanted. Did you see anything else where she needed to be included, Nick, in that Salt and Pepper, the biopic?
No, I mean, if she was included in more of the friendship life than they showed in the biopic, then maybe, but it was about Salt and Pepper, not Salt, Pepper, and Spin.
Right, because they were already
Salt and Pepper.
They were already.
A lot of people don't understand that. Y'all need to understand. Spin came in late. I mean, yes, she was a pivotal part of their success later, but she wasn't there from the beginning. Had she been there from the beginning, then I can see her being upset about not being included.
So let me ask you.
She didn't work as a telemarketer. She wasn't there as a telemarketer. They didn't put that much play on like Kid and Play, because it was Salt, Pepper, Kid and Play, and Martin Lawrence. They all worked at Sears as telemarketers wanting to be stars. And shout out to Salt. Shout out to Salt big time, because Salt's boyfriend is the one that put her on and said she should be a rapper. She was like, I'm no rapper. And then he said, we need another girl. And that's how she met Pep in school. And it was like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm fast forwarding a little bit for you. And then her boyfriend, Salt's boyfriend, Cheryl's boyfriend, he was like, okay, we're going to split 50-50 because it was their group. And he said, if you want to split with Pep, you can. She split her money with Pep. So her half, so he was getting a lot more than just Cheryl, because Cheryl could have kept it all. She split her earnings with Pep. So I said, now that's a good friend. All right, let's move on to the iconic, influential actress who started her acting career at age 47, Miss Cicely Tyson.
Yes, that
Wait, let me get her
that
right.
is definitely.
Go ahead.
You know,
That she is definitely going to be missed. Definitely going to be missed. That right here is an icon in the Black community.
She really
because everything she did with class.
And did you see where
she did with class?
She was doing an interview and she said she chose her roles and she made sure she didn't depict us as being the stereotypical Black actress. You know,
exactly.
Like no, she said no.
Exactly. No.
Yes, the other ones. But what I have to say is that woman was absolutely beautiful. I seen her on the Tamron Hall show, and yeah, I believe it was Tamron Hall. And she was talking about, Tamara asked her, how does she look so beautiful? Now, mind you, 47, she came on the acting scene. She used to be a model. 47 came on the acting screen. And the reason I keep emphasizing that is because it is never too late. Because I know her from Bustin' Loose. Wasn't that Bustin' Loose? Yeah. And Tamara asked her, how does she look so good? She said she gets dressed every day. You know, if she has to go somewhere, she'll make sure that she goes. She gets up. She said those are steps. It's exercise. She puts on her makeup every day. So it's all about effort. And even with what we're going through now, it's like, okay, everybody's tired. And it's like, oh, well, I'm not going nowhere. I don't have to get dressed. Take a pages out of Cicely Tyson's book. 96 years old, she passed away. They didn't say what she passed from, though. They didn't say what she passed from, but 96 is such a blessing. And acting all the way up.
Yeah.
She looked amazing.
Yes.
Take a page out of her book. Get dressed every day. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. That's what I say.
Right. Wash her hands, y'all.
And wash her hands. I'm sure she washed her hands. That's what did it.
You know it. Yeah.
So in 2019, she got an honorary Oscar for her body of work in Hollywood. She was nominated for an Oscar for the Best Actress in a Leading Role in Sounder in 1972. That was a triumph in itself, just to be recognized. And
that was her breakthrough. That was her coming out movie.
And she went on to win an Emmy for her role in the Jane Pittman. She played Jane Pittman in a leading role in a drama. She won the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman. That was 1974. So she's done a lot of work, and it's funny because her rise and Lou Gossett Jr.'s seem to be, like, when I look at some of her stuff, seem to be similar. You know, he was best known for his work in An Officer and a Gentleman, you know, which was a great movie. So but yeah, she's done a lot of great stuff, and it's funny because when I heard that she died, the first thing I thought about was Bustin' Loose. But I will say that Tyler Perry had her involved in a lot of work towards, you know, in her later days. So I think it was great that she was able to get her honorary, that she was able to get her Oscar nod before she came, but you know, she'll be missed, but she has a lifetime of great work
all the way through. Through. Nick, you got
she worked to the very end.
Do you have any the word on the street, word to the curb, Any hot topics for us to discuss before I start my lovely Q-tips?
Any hot topics? No. Besides folks locally, that was politic wise, we still have some local people that are being arrested for their part in the insurrection.
Yep.
See, that's good stuff. How you feel about that?
Exactly. Good. Get them all. Get them all. Get them all.
Okay. Roogle, you have any more? What's happening?
Trying to think of something. It was something I wanted to say. It left my mind. So there you go.
Whoops. Then that is me.
Hi, this is Gary with the team from the Roogle Morning Show. I want to give a shout out to Mel with Shop Talk, honey.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. I want to give a shout out to myself. I sound like Snoop Dogg. A pat on the back, but I love you guys. But look, for being behind me 110%. All right, finding your mojo. It's hard to get your mojo back, and that's what I want to talk to you lovely people about in our last few minutes, okay? Getting your mojo back. There's some Q-tips that I want to give you on how. Q-tips, what do I mean? I mean quick tips on how to get your mojo back. First of all, before I give my Q-tips, Roogle, how would you get your mojo back?
Somebody told me I need to shave.
Oh, okay.
They said shave, damn it. I'm like, I'll be all right. I'll be okay. I don't know.
How about you, Nick? How would you get your mojo back?
I don't even know. Listen. Trying to
probably
enough rest.
Girl got you covered. This is how boost yourself. I'm gonna show you how to boost yourself. I'm not gonna show you. I'm gonna tell you how to boost yourself back up. Get out of those PJs. Roogle, shave. You already said it. Get dressed. From the great words of the late Cicely Tyson. Get up, get dressed as if you are going somewhere, because you don't know who's gonna come over, even though you don't have company coming over to the house right now. But act as if you do. That's why I say I challenge you. Do a live. Get on the social media, do a live. Even if you don't have anything to say, I got somebody that keep inviting me to their live and all they do is play music. I don't want to hear your music. I'm not interested. Anybody that knows me, I'm a jazz girl. Okay, watercolors it is. But I don't want to listen to your music. I thought you had something to say. I believe what people have to say is important, and I wanted to listen. Don't invite me to your live just to listen to your music. That's how you get yourself blocked, okay? But besides that, get on there, get dressed, look your best. How you dress is how you'll be addressed. Shout out Kevin Harris. When he said that on my show some years ago, probably like 8 years ago, he said that how you dress is how you'll be addressed. That is key. Trust and believe. Look at Walmart. You go to Walmart, no lie. When I see people with pajamas on, guess what I say? Good morning. Straight up.
That is so
I don't care what time it is. I said,
Good
morning. With hopes that they would possibly get it like, you have on pajamas, so let me address you how you are dressed. If somebody is dressed and they iron out everything and they look really, really neat, I respect that person off top just by appearance. Even if they are Adrian and Balin, I'm going to think that they wash their hands. Okay?
Got a question for you.
Sure.
If you work at a healthcare facility, is it okay to go into a store nowadays with scrubs on?
Yes, but I don't think it's okay to go into a restaurant with scrubs on.
Okay.
That I don't. And I will actually ask you, hey, how you doing? I said, thank you. And all you got to do is say, thank you for your services. Are you just getting off or are you going? See, that matters. Because if you're just getting off and you got on scrubs, honey, I'm not going to be feeling right because it's going to be everybody's stuff all on you. But a lot of people are wearing scrubs as outfits. Not okay. You know what I mean? If you're passing through, okay. They're doing that. Let me get through these Q-tips and we're going to elaborate on that a little bit. Walk, change your environment. If you are in the house the entire time, just kind of go outside, sit on the porch. It is kind of cold outside, but I'm telling you that fresh air, exchange that oxygen, it does something to you. If you are at work, I don't believe in taking my lunch break at work. No, because guess what? They still have access to you. I need to leave the facility, go sit in my car, breathe, and then come back in, and then I'm ready. Okay. Avoid negativity, zero tolerance, zero tolerance. Avoid negativity at all costs. At all costs. You ever had that person that will talk to you, or you look at the phone and you're like, here we go. And not all, listen, when I say negativity, not all drama filled is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that person that just has all that stuff. They want to dump all their problems on you. That's negativity. And I'm going to tell you something. We have the tendency as humans to digest what they're feeding us. We need to stop. Even with the COVID, we touch bases on that. Like I said, no need to crying over spilled milk. You have those people that will complain. Well, here's the resolution, and they don't want to take your advice to resolve the issue, but they want you to stay in that zone. No, I'm not going to be there with you. Zero tolerance. I'm not digesting what you're going through. If you are, you want to listen to somebody and be that listening ear, be the listening ear to hear what they have to say, but don't digest it, because once you digest it, and y'all know me, a lot of people know me, I will sit there, okay, I hear what you have to say, but I'm not internalizing that mess. Bye, have a good day. Because once you digest it, then you end up going right over there, pulling on over to their side, and then you are with them with their problem. You got your own problems to deal with. And if you don't, when they come, you are in fight mode and ready to deal with your own. Hang up with that person. Zero tolerance. If it's something that you have to do for you, do it for you. And listen, how about that person that'll call you and be like, oh, you going out? Well, can you do this and that and this and that? Now they gave you a list to do their stuff. No, change your environment. So don't digest what others have going on. That's what you don't want to do. And don't overbook yourself with nothing. What do I mean by that? This is to you, Roogle. This is what I mean by that. Don't overbook yourself with nothing. Somebody told you, they said, hey, you need to shave. You said, I'm all right. So you didn't, you're like, oh, okay, I'm all right.
Well, yeah, because I'm wearing a mask a lot.
But that's it. I understand we're all wearing masks. So it's a lot of females that aren't even wearing makeup like they used to do and put it together. They are becoming complacent or going with the majority. I don't want you. I want you to be a standout. So when I say, hey, Roogle, hey, Nick, where you at? You be like, I'm outstanding. You're changing the environment. Care about yourself. Fix yourself up. If you don't do it for you, who are you doing it for? Don't dress for other people. And don't, like I said before, don't overbook yourself with nothing. What you doing tomorrow? Nothing. And then next thing you know, you'll be like, okay, I have to do this. And you have a schedule of the things you need to do, and then you don't do them at all. So don't overbook yourself with nothing. Make sure whatever you have planned is pertaining to you. Don't allow people, back to zero tolerance, don't allow people to give you their shopping list. No, I didn't plan on going shopping. Because why? Because you're able to deviate from your plan, long as you're doing something. So I want you to be the best that you can be, and make sure that you put yourself first. Because I'm going to tell you this, even in relationships, having a soft heart will leave you brokenhearted. Now, I don't know who need to say that. And I don't know why I even said that. But people will be in a relationship because they got a soft heart. And they're like, okay, well, they're going through this and they're going through that, because they are digesting what others have to say. Oh, well, they're dealing with this and they're dealing with that. Well, that leaves you with a broken heart, being soft-hearted. And then you have those that'll say, oh, your heart, you cold. Somebody must have hurt you before. No, I'm not allowing anybody to hurt me. I'm doing me. Now, if you want to tag along, you can. And if you're going through something, I'll pray for you. Keep it moving. But stay out of my space. And then you have those that you like, okay, well, here, they called me. Hey, they calling to check on me. That is so nice of them. And then by the end of the conversation, it's all about them and what they're going through. Again, do not digest what others have going on. So that's today's message on the Q-tips. And another thing, they have where with those things, once you do that, like if you're dealing with stress, if you're dealing with hostility, cynicism, if you're dealing with those type things, those have been linked to, because I read Healthline, an article in Healthline, those have been linked to dementia. How about that? Heart disease, stroke, because you're digesting what others have going on. So do you really want to die from somebody else's mess? That's just a question. So you have to be careful what you allow in your space. So take control. That's all I got to say. Look, that's all I got to say about the little Q-tips. Walk, get dressed, think more of yourself, look in the mirror, say, hey, I look good today. And if you look and be like, oh, I could do. Go ahead and do. Don't digest what others have going on, and don't overbook yourself with nothing. And definitely don't overbook yourself with somebody else's stuff. Don't do it. Allow them to do it. They'll thank you in the end and be like, oh, it's exercise. Hey, you need some fresh air. You need to get out. And a lot of us, honestly, like I said, from Cicely Tyson, you know, the elderly people, you want to go and you want to check on them. You be like, oh, I don't really want them out. Take them with you. They need to get out. They need a new environment. They need fresh air. I will open up all the windows, the doors, the whole nine, and let it go. Be like, okay, we're going to let that spirit out, especially a complaining spirit. Don't listen to the complaining spirit. Tell them to go. Protect your positive energy at all costs. All right, Roogle, so what you wearing today? Let me see what you got on.
This is a t-shirt and a hoodie.
A nice hoodie. Nice hoodie.
Yeah.
Pretty fashionable. I like the dreads. You growing them back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen though.
It looks good. It looks good, and it takes a lot of work. Fine motor skills. Fine motor skills. All right, Nick, what you got on?
I got my cute khaki green sweater.
Yeah, we on the same color.
Okay.
Is your stuff green too?
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
Mine is like a smoke gray.
Oh.
It's in that family. It's smoke gray, but y'all got the gray. Wasn't even planned.
Wasn't even planned, yo. Hey, because my shirt is gray.
Oh, look at there. You got it looking good. Nick, I like your hair. And your eyebrows.
Thank you. They need to be done. But this hair, I can't do that with it because every now and then it'll start curling. And I'm like,
listen to me. Take the compliment.
Thank you.
All right. I'm like, why we do that? Why do we be like, oh, I need to? No, this sweater is, no, it looks nice. Thank you. That should say, I'm putting that in the closet. Yes, you look really cute. Natural beauty right there. And
yeah, I ain't feel like putting no t-shirt on and stuff like usual. I had, like you said, I felt like getting dressed this morning, even though I'm not going anywhere besides doing what I had to do this morning.
Good for you. Roogle, I like the gray in your beard. I like how it's like very patched up.
Yeah, but it I think the thing is that like if it was like all gray, it would have a little bit more symmetry to it than like the summertime. You know, some is here, some is there.
Because it's like it's gray, then it's black, then it's gray. Yeah. It's like blocked.
Yeah, but it's funny because I don't have any in my hair really. Yeah, like I got like silver hair. Like this is like to me is white. Like they're like white hairs, you know. But in my hair, I might have a few silver strands, but it's weird. Not that many.
Mascara is not gonna work for you, but I like it though.
Well, I'm not gonna
look the mascara the color anyway. Black. The color it back black.
Yeah, I'm not one of those. I won't dye it. You know, if I want to dye it, I ain't dyeing it black. I want to dye it like green or something.
Different personality.
I'm gonna be cool, man.
Dye blue, but people are dyeing their hair that way, like blocked.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're dyeing their hair blocked, and it's like, okay.
Like highlight blocks or something. Blue. Nah, I'm cool. I'm not. That ain't in my wheelhouse.
That's not your wheelhouse?
Nah.
Okay, what you cooking? Remember we talked about that? Cooking a new dish every week. What new did you cook? Or do you just be on the show and just do it that way? Just listen to me talk. Have you implemented anything?
I'm trying to think if I made anything new. No, I kind of did a play on an old thing. Like I made like my own version of Italian greens and beans, but I didn't use
greens and beans that go together.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Like it's a white bean that they use, like cannelli bean or whatever. But I did a little version of that the other day.
I almost forgot about what's happening in Texas. The Texas police chief, he was arrested after the fiance claims on Facebook that he also has a wife, a girlfriend, and still dating.
He was arrested?
Arrested. The police chief arrested. Now, why would you be arrested of what he's doing in his personal life? If they're cool with it, why should it be a problem? Even though we know, like, but what is it?
Run it down again. He has a wife, a girlfriend.
Fiance posted on Facebook that her fiance has a wife, girlfriend, and he is still dating.
And the fiance.
That's why I said his fiance.
The only thing I can think of, if he's truly her fiance, do they have a marriage or a license to get married? Like, do they have a license? Like, is they a fiance in name only, or is he trying to have two licenses to get married?
He's not allowed because that's bigamy.
Exactly. That maybe that's why he got arrested. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, if that's the,
go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah, if that's the case, I don't know. You know what I mean? But
maybe they have an understanding. Maybe they have, like, the book How the Wife Becomes a Other Woman. You could get that at Barnes and Nobles, Balboa Press, and Amazon from your girl Mel right here. Maybe the wife is okay. Maybe she knows a little bit more than what he's saying, and she's like going with it. She don't have to worry about anything as long as he's paying her.
I guess they're trying to do what they do in other countries with all the concubines and all the wives, like in the Arab countries and like some African, they have more than one wife. But baby, you are in the United States of America.
Well, you ain't gotta cross the Atlantic or the Pacific to see that happen. That happens right in Utah. You know, there, you know, big love, baby. There's big love down there.
Oh, okay, here you go. Here's a story. The police chief in Texas has lost his job and faces charges after his fiance exposed his alleged triple life on Facebook. Now, come on. I guess they looked into it by him holding that position. Maybe that's it. So he lost his job. Jason Collier, who was a head of Stinnett Police Department, was arrested by Texas Rangers for the felony of tampering with government records with intent to defraud, namely in fake marriage annulment.
Okay.
So I guess he was going to, like, pretend like he, you know, I'm not married, and then marry the other girl. On Tuesday, in a negative Facebook review of the city of Stinnett, she doesn't recommend it. That's what this says. I'm reading it. Collier's fiance, Cecily Steinmetz, revealed she had discovered she wasn't his one and only from it. In fact, Chief is living a double, triple life. This is the girl. Now, when people get upset, they want to put it out there, but come on. What's up with that? Why don't she just remove herself instead of just blasting it on Facebook like the people on Facebook really care? Like, are they the judge and jury? I mean, help me.
All she did was make herself look stupid.
Now see, when you actually read the article, when she found out about the second girlfriend, like, she's okay, I'm the fiance, he has a wife. Oh wait, it's somebody else. Now I want to blast it on Facebook. Come on, man.
Well, he was probably telling her, you know, he showed her documents saying that he had a divorce or he was getting an annulment.
Right.
So, I mean, she was thinking like she was the next one in line.
The next one in line, but you mad because there was somebody else behind you.
Yeah, well, you know, a woman scorn, yo. I didn't come up with that saying. You know, it wasn't like she was gonna go peacefully into it. She gave him her life, her soul, the way she looked at it.
Now,
she was committed. She was ready to go.
Why would you give yourself to someone who is married?
Because she was
next in line. It was her turn.
Yeah, it was her turn. She knew she was the better woman. You know, to the victor go the spoils, and she got some spoiled ass milk.
If he do it to you, if he do it to the person before you, he gonna do it to you. So what makes her think she was?
Is that really true though? Come on, guys.
Is it?
Is it really true?
See, I really believe that. What they say, how you get them is how you lose them.
How you gonna lose
Okay.
them?
All right.
9 times out of 10, how you now listen to me. 9 times out of 10, how you get them is how you lose them.
Hmm.
Period.
You heard Nick the voice. Now
All
you
right.
thinking back.
And she put a period on the end of it.
You thinking back. Look at Roogle. He's thinking.
I'm thinking at some situations. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, some of that is true. Yeah, some of that is true. But I mean, like, you know, if we look at if we look at the movie, the 5 Heartbeats, you know, in the end, Eddie Kane was with what was her name, Sweetie or whatever her name was, you know, and the
Baby
brother,
doll.
yeah, baby doll, and the brother ended up being with the first girlfriend from back in the day.
The only girlfriend, even though he cheated on her continuously, she hung in there because she didn't know. But the thing is, even if you don't know, how you get them is how you lose them. Been there, done that. A couple times I knew, a couple times I didn't know. How I got them is how I lost them.
Well, what I've noticed, and you're a guy, so help me out. What I've noticed is that before
the movie guy.
Yeah, you were the movie guy.
Yeah, that's even more impressive.
Yes, it is. So I'm sure you can relate to another movie about when men are ready to leave a female. Do they have one in waiting that they have their eyes on?
I would say no, not always. I would say sometimes you just got. She's twisting up her mouth.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Nick the voice.
I would say no.
Men, I need to know.
I would say no. Sometimes you just gotta. Sometimes you just gotta. You just gotta Jordan Peele. You gotta get out.
Nah, bro.
You gotta get out.
If she crazy, yeah. But again,
I'm saying,
even so, I mean, that's something that I really want to know. Like, okay, if you know, like, you tired of her stuff, and there's somebody at the job that you've been eyeing, is there someone that you've been paying attention to that you're like to realize that this at home is not the way it's supposed to be? I like the way
9 times out of 10, yeah.
Do you have somebody in layaway?
You could have an example. You could have something that tells you that there's something better. You can see something that tells you there's something better out there. But but I would say, though, if you are in it and you see if you're in it and you're like, hey, I don't like this anymore, and you leave, it don't necessarily have to be another person that sways you to leave that relationship.
So nobody's in layaway.
I would say maybe 50% of the time there's probably somebody, or it might be something or whatever. But if you look at, and I'm the movie guy, but I'm gonna make a music reference. If you look at what is his name, Donnell Jones, you know, he'd rather leave than to stay, because when you love someone, you just don't treat them bad.
Okay, that's a good one. Well, here's another music reference. Chris Bender. One girl fulfills my physical needs. The other girls, I have eyes for me mentally. So
Trey Songz, this is the last time.
So what you gonna do? What?
Well, like, those are
Go ahead.
Those are situations of the 50% that leave because of being enticed by other things. And then there's another percentage that leaves because it's no good for them. You know, sometimes you just gotta be like, hey, I had a situation like that where I was just like, yeah, the next time this happens, and then the last time should have been that time, and it wasn't what y'all thinking. I was like, I'm out, right? And it had nothing to do with infidelity or anything like that. It was just a thing that I just felt like, yeah, this ain't good for me, and I dipped, you know. But the thing is, this is the issue. Sometimes along your pathway, when you with somebody, there might be other people trying to get at you, right? But that don't mean that you're trying to get with them. That just means that they in the atmosphere, right?
Okay.
You know, but you got to make a decision based off of how that relationship is treating you if you want out.
Okay. Do you think that it's a good idea to go from one relationship to the other?
I think that all depends on on the dynamics of what you're getting into.
Okay, Nick, what you think? Honestly, this shop talk, let's keep it 100.
Honestly, To leave one relationship.
Tell the truth. In the past, before
honestly, in the past, yeah, I've done that. Jumped out of one relationship and got into another one.
So you had somebody on layaway.
Yeah.
Okay, look, Roogle like shaking his head. Because here's the deal, honestly. With guys, with men, you could tell a man that, oh, okay, I'm in a relationship, or he'll know you're in a relationship, and he'll play the waiting game, and he'll sit back and wait for you, knowing that that's the guy. However, if it's flipped, most women, or we look at women as being stupid if she plays the waiting game and wait for him to get out of his relationship. Well, why is that?
Well, I think the thing is kind of like, I think the difference is, are you, I think, okay, and this, I don't want to sound like this, but I will, this is, I think that it depends on the age of a person, right? Okay. And the reason I say that is because I've seen situations where a woman may not want to wait on somebody because they have aspirations of what they want their life to be, right? They might want to have kids, they might, whatever it is. And so that waiting game doesn't play a role for them. And then you might have guys who just, you might just have a guy that's just a creep, you just waiting around, or you were willing to drop everything for that one woman that pops up that you really want. And so while you're doing that, it's like, oh yeah, they may say I'm dating, but I'm not in a relationship, you know what I mean? Until that other thing frees up, or until they find themselves in a situation where something that's more enticing comes around. I could see that being the waiting game a guy plays, but I don't think that there's any guy saying, well, she's been with this guy, I'm just waiting for her to make a wrong move, and then I'm just gonna be open for her. Nah, he might be waiting for that guy to make a wrong move, but he also will be scheming on the side, doing his own thing.
Okay,
that's what I think. I don't think a guy's just gonna be stuck waiting.
Because you have what's Steve Harvey's little daughter's name? What's her name? Nick, the one that's out here with everybody. His
Lori
Harvey.
Now, listen, now I don't know. Now he adopted her and she got the last name Harvey. I'm like, nah, you gonna need to use your.
Can you adopt somebody that's 19 years old though? Wasn't she like 19 when they met?
Yeah, she's grown.
She's grown. I mean, she just took the name. I don't know if that's an adoption.
You not to be putting the name out there, but there's a double standard. It's a double standard because now she's with the Black Panther.
Michael B. Jordan.
Look, opposition. Yeah, him. So now she's with him. Now she was with, we know Future. We know who else? It was like P. Diddy allegedly, Diddy's son. And you're just going on and going on. Is it like, because like J-Lo, now J-Lo get husbands all throughout the whole, you know what I mean, her little span of her celebrityism, if that's a word. I don't know. Well, dang it.
I think it's this celebrity.
I'm like out of her career. But then Lori, what is Lori actually doing? And have you noticed that she was with Future? It seems like everybody, Future is like, Future is like the penis starter kit for the celebrities.
A penis starter kit.
You know, look, Sierra. Everybody was with Future, and then they just keep moving on and on and on, like that starter fizzle.
So the issue is why they leaving Future.
Yeah, but guess what? They with Future, and then boom, let me go up.
Yeah, like why they dipping on him? What is it?
In the industry, every industry.
I don't know. I think the thing is she's doing what the Kardashians did before they start making their own money. She's living off of daddy, and she can make decisions and do whatever she wants to do, and probably feels that there what's the repercussions of it? Well, she have a baby, she got her own, she got money. That baby ain't gonna go without. You know what I mean? Sometimes people make decisions.
But your name is everything. Oh, well, clearly.
Obvious, she don't feel that way because she changed hers. I mean, come on. You're right. It's everything. That's why she changed it. You know what I mean? But she don't. Some people feel like, hey, guys be out here dating multiple people, doing all that kind of stuff here and there. Whatever.
Like Ben Affleck.
Well, I wouldn't put Ben Affleck in that category.
Why not? He done dated everybody in Hollywood, allegedly.
I mean, he dated. He was married to Jennifer Garner. He was about to be with J-Lo.
And Aniston, Jennifer Aniston. Maybe he just like Jens.
No, that wasn't. He wasn't with Jennifer Aniston.
Who was that?
That was Brad Pitt.
That
was Brad Pitt.
Oh, see, I can't keep up now, Brad.
And he went from Jennifer Aniston to like Julie. What's her name?
Not Julia Roberts.
The other one.
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, there you go.
Pretty one. There you go.
And they got a tribe.
Yeah.
And now they're not together anymore after adopting all those kids and having 2 or 3 of their own.
So what happens?
I don't know.
So
but they
now they're from a broken home.
I never hear about him dating anybody.
Together, they got together while Brad was still married to Jennifer.
Well, allegedly Jennifer Aniston didn't want to have no kids. Allegedly.
Whoa.
And that's what he was like. He wants to start a family.
They should have discussed before they said I do.
Well, I mean, it happens. Hollywood marriages. They don't stay or whatever. She made her money. She all right. You know what I mean? I don't know why she keep getting work, but she do. But some of her stuff is all right, but they hold her in like high esteem. Like like she ain't no Meryl Streep or nobody. I'm just saying.
Said all that. Let's be clear.
Come on.
But sometimes people date people just to be relevant. That's why I think that's with Future. Like he like a starter kit, like that starter dizzle. Like, okay, I'm in the industry. I just slept with Future. I'm in the industry. Let me move on up to.
I would have found somebody else to be the starter. You know what? Rather than
somebody else for the starter dizzle.
The starter dizzle.
He's Future is arrogant. He's ignorant. He has no respect for women. And
Sarah she found her Prince Charming. She lucked out.
Who did you say?
Sierra. We talked about her. You like, what album did she have? There you go. I already know. Where you're going.
Yeah. Sierra.
Sierra is like J-Lo. They can dance, but singing, it's mediocre. But go ahead.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, that reminds me of when we were talking about the inauguration. I was like, I don't know why she picked this land is your land, this land is our land. That was.
You don't know why?
It was an easier song, but she tried to Fergie it a little bit. I'm like, that was a rotten song to pick for her, because that's like a marching band song,
It is. It is.
And then she tried to jazz it up a little bit.
Funny.
Yeah, she should have did My Country 'Tis a Thee or God Bless America or something like that. I don't know who it was. I don't know, but again, it could be a range thing. She ain't got no range, y'all.
What? Yeah, because remember they were saying that Ashanti was the one that was singing with what's his name?
Ja Rule.
Ja Rule. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And Ashanti, kudos to Ashanti, because she did not tell that, hello, this is actually my vocals. Ashanti, and we're done, I promise. Ashanti versus Keisha Cole. Did you guys see it?
Yes.
How you feel?
I was disappointed. It was too much like karaoke.
Hey.
Go ahead, Roogle. Hurry up before we sign off.
I didn't see it, and if I could have saw it, I wouldn't have watched it.
You want to see it?
There's no winners in that.
I don't know. Ashanti she brought it. Now, first of all, Keisha was an hour late. She had an attitude, but she did do an interview, and everybody found out she was actually there. She didn't sit down and see. She said she wished she would have just sat down. She was actually there. She was having technical difficulties with her, I guess the Wi-Fi or whatever. And she did, even she sat down, but everything was like real dark. It wasn't lit enough for anything, and she was upset about that. So that's why she had an attitude when she first came on, and that's why it took her so long, because they were trying to get that ready. But a couple of times I did hear her talking in the background.
Okay.
And she also said that she was afraid, even though she sings, not afraid of Ashanti, but just, having the butterflies.
She a singer that's afraid to sing because ain't no auto-tune available. Ain't nobody in the studio to adjust it. But like, I mean, come on. Keisha Coles is the worst, man. I mean, let's just, she made, you know what, the reason, and I say this, I said it before, the only reason she got famous was she made a song that was kind of catchy, sang it terribly to the point where anybody can sing along with it.
Yeah, you can, because I can sing that song real.
I'm just saying, you know.
All right, lovely people, that is my time. I thoroughly enjoyed you as I do each and every single Saturday. Today's footnote: don't let yesterday use up too much of your today. Don't cry over spilled milk. If we know this happened, we got to stop talking about Trump. Okay, we have Joe Biden right now. We got our guy Bernie. We know Roogle is a real Bernie Sanders fan.
Yeah, I like Bernie.
With the mittens, we're gonna get you some mittens, okay?
Yeah, I'll take some Bernie mittens, yo.
And have that going on. So, and also with the COVID, yes, we know what's going on. We knew what was going on yesterday, even with 2020. Now what we have to do is correct it. How do we correct it? How do we resolve these issues? That's what we need to be working on, not focusing on what happened yesterday and spilled milk and who did what. Let's fix it. So wear your mask. Now they're talking about DMing, double masking. Okay, so wear 2 masks. If you wear the N95s, a lot of my nurse friends and anybody in the medical field, if you have the N95, you will break out because your girl, that's how I'm breaking out. That stuff will have you broken out. But wear your mask, wear your mask, wear your mask. And you do have to wash your mask, honestly. If you put that mask on and you smell it and you can't tolerate it, you know we can't tolerate that breath. Okay, so pop a mint in. Also, having those masks on, make sure you lubricate those lips because your lips will be dry. Drink plenty of fluid and just go to your car, breathe a little bit, roll the window down, keep your distance from each other, wash your hands. Even if you don't use the bathroom, please wash your hands. Let's just be great and let's help each other out. If you don't want to help yourself, just help your neighbor, all right? All right, find you, embrace you. Most importantly, always love you. Until next week, people.
Shop Talk.
Right here, every Saturday, Spreaker.com on your favorite podcast under Let's Shop Talk and Facebook Live. We doing it. I'm trying to end it on all the stuff at one time. I was trying to get it where to the one where I was small in. You seen the one that I was really small in, Nick, earlier? I was real small in where people could come.
But it was dark too.
It was dark too. Okay.
Yeah, it was dark too. It was darker than that. That computer here is more lit up. You can see that. You could tell you got the lights.
Good one.
What were you trying to do?
Go on. Okay, let me see. Go on. I'm gonna switch it if I can switch. Go on the Zoom on the other computer. Remember I was telling you the newer computer, and it had me, like she said, it had me dark. And it's like, why? That I shouldn't be dark at all, but I was dark, so I can't figure it out.
It might be better if you're able to adjust the lighting on the computer too.
Oh, maybe so. Maybe that'll do it.
Yeah, do some adjustments on the computers. Should be able
hey, listen, while I'm still recording.